It's for oneness. And it says the quality or state of being one. Singularity, uniqueness. A state or condition of perfect harmony or accord. Sameness of character. Unison, agreement, oneness of mind and purpose. And then I also have an excerpt from A Dozen Ways to Oneness by Carol Simone. We are looking for ways to find more joy and inner peace for ourselves and the world around us. Like every soul, you are seeking a deeper connection. The intention is to create new ways of seeing and feeling to help you realize how interconnected we all are, no matter what form, color, sex, age, or area of the world we live in. No matter where we came from or where we're going. No matter if we are made of air, fire, water, or earth, two-legged, four-legged, winged, or in a shell. None of that really matters to your spirit. All that matters is the knowing that you are an expression of life and can find that deep connection by quieting down and breathing into the stillness.
Wouldn't it be great if there were only one religion and it was love? And the truth is, there really is only one religion and one God, which is all love. Our work is to get the rest of the world to know that. What do you think? But we can start here. We start with one, with this, with I. And then we reach out into the world and share that idea with those who are interested and willing to listen and to hear what it is we have to say. I really like that last definition that Sue found on oneness. Unison, agreement, oneness of mind and purpose. Wow, if that isn't who we are here, right? Oneness of mind and purpose. And that, to me, is really a beautiful statement. Because sometimes we get so caught up in a survival consciousness mode that we really miss out on the truth of who we are, on the truth of life, of the universe, and how we really are truly one, and how we are absolutely connected, not just to one another, but to all and to everything. And as we put our focus on life, we can see the universe at work. We can see how it is working to guide us back to that oneness. And when we follow that guidance, our perception of life is changed forever. We're no longer a victim of life in any way, shape, or form. And I know a lot of you have experienced that because you understand life differently now. We tend to navigate through life with a much more clear choice, more clear, concise choices, honoring our authentic selves. Honoring that authentic self and our desires and our needs. And I mean from our essence, certainly not from the material things that our human ego is after. I'm not talking about cars and houses and all that big fun stuff. What I know is this, that in reality, we have all been on a spiritual journey our entire life. Do you believe that? Whether we know it or not, we may not have recognized it until we formally saw ourselves seeking, researching, looking. And the truth is, though, we're all working our way back to that oneness, back to our source, to God, to divine, whatever it is you want to call it. So as we become aware of that true nature, we begin to feel ourselves dissolving back into that divine one, that divine oneness light of light. So on this journey back to our source, we all experience different levels of awakening, different experiences on that path. And as we're on that path, we run into different signposts, if you will. And those signposts are what help us realize and understand that there is something bigger than I out there orchestrating the universe. And those signposts are an avenue to assist us in understanding and utilizing the guidance that is always available to us. When we understand that guidance system, then it's much more easy to direct it to the life that we want, to the life that we want to create, to that life that our authentic self desires. Realizing that we're all connected is how we can release that idea of separation. We can dismantle that idea in its entirety. And that's important. That's really important because, in truth, our behavior and our attitudes actually do affect the whole. It is never just about a single I. David Bennett shared this: oneness holds a greater power than anything humanity's pride or arrogance can generate. Love is the unifying power that connects this physical universe to oneness. All we need to do is open ourselves and receive. It resides within each of us. You are all of it. Now, this is not a new idea. Not at all. His idea, and many of the current master teachers' idea, are right in parallel with those thousands of years ago. And I want to share a few of those with you. In the Kabbalah, for instance, it is written that everything sings, celebrates, serves, develops, evolves, uplifts, aspires to be arranged in oneness. And Thich Nhat Hanh has been so taken by the truth of our common interdependence, he created a new word for it. Are you familiar with that? Interbeing. That's where that word came from, interbeing, from Thich Nhat Hanh. And that, he says, forms our basis for compassion. And that is what is the very core of who we are, of our essence. The Dalai Lama reminds us that with recognizing the harmony and independence among all beings, we'll come to see that the distinction we make between self and others is actually an exaggeration. I love that idea. We're going to come to see, he says, that there's no self-interest completely unrelated to others' interests. Because fundamentally, your interest is my interest. We simply need to remove obstacles within us that prevent it from manifesting, that prevent it from showing up the way it needs to show up. The Christian mystic Hildegard understood this: God has arranged all things in the world in consideration of everything else. Everything that is in the heavens, on the earth, and under the earth is penetrated with connectedness, penetrated with relatedness. Everyone's been telling us that we're all one, and to honor that, Muslims, this is what they say: all human beings are brothers and sisters in humanity. And that same obligation of kindness, fairness, and consideration are due to all and everyone. Same thing. What I'm doing to you, I'm doing to me. Why not love? Be compassionate. Be peaceful. St. Thomas, the Catholic priest, devoted his entire life to mixing science and faith. And this is what he determined: each and every culture exists for the perfection of the entire universe. Now that was science and religion, if you will, coming together. There are plenty more examples of that. If you look it up, if you research it, and you find all those parallels, you will be amazed. And when you hear me say at the beginning of service that we just cut to the core here at Common Ground and share that love and that kindness and that compassion, that is really the truth. That is really what all of these traditions are teaching. I love you because you are me. I'm compassionate to you because you are me. We really are all one and the same. And these different traditions speak about how deeply the individual and the group or the community are absolutely connected. And why wouldn't we want to be loving our neighbor as ourselves? We have to live on this planet together. I'll rephrase that. We get to live on this planet together, and why not share that in love? And I don't mean just with humanity, I mean with all living beings, all sentient beings. We need each other. We need each other to expand, to grow, to love, to take care of this beautiful Mother Earth that we've been lacking a little bit in lately. So we need each other to come together and act as that one, taking care of business. I want to share a poem with you written by Ganga White. What if our religion was each other? If our practice was our life? If prayer our words? What if the temple was the earth? If forests were our church? If holy water, the rivers, lakes, and oceans? What if meditation was our relationships? If the teacher was life? If wisdom was self-knowledge? If love was the center of our being? Wow, huh? Isn't that beautiful? Well, I'm here to tell you, love is the center of your being. And all those things are the truth. And we are each other's teachers. And all we have to do is open our hearts and our eyes and see that all of those things nature can teach us. I talk a lot about how nature can teach us a lot over the year. And this morning I want to share a really sweet story with you, which, in the words of Spock, is highly illogical. However, it's real and it's a beautiful, joyful story. After losing his parents, this 3-year-old orangutan was so depressed that he wouldn't eat, and he didn't respond to any medical treatments. And the veterinarians were absolutely sure he would die from sadness. Well, the zookeepers found an old sick dog on the grounds in the park at the zoo where the orangutan lived, and they took the dog to the animal treatment center. Well, the dog, coincidentally, arrived at the same time the orangutan was there being treated. So these two lost souls met and have become inseparable. The orangutan found a new reason to live. And each always tries his best to be a good companion to his newfound friend. They're together 24 hours a day with all their activities. Now they live in Northern California, where swimming is their favorite pastime. Is that darling or what? Now Roscoe is the orangutan, and they say he's a little bit afraid of water, and he needs his friend to help him swim. I just think that is darling. Well, together these two have discovered the joy and the laughter in life and the value of friendship. They have found more than a friendly shoulder to lean on. I just think that is the cutest thing. This is a beautiful example of how we can love, regardless of appearances, languages, whatever you can come up with. And it's also a reminder that nothing we do has value unless we can touch the heart of another. And isn't that the truth? When we touch the heart of another, lives change. And our human community can be much more successful if we follow that map that nature gives us. If we can bring up that love and that compassion, that kindness, and share that with one another. We do that by learning that we're all interconnected in this vast and intricate network of relationships. And the success of the whole depends on the success of its individual members. That's what we want to see and understand. And then also realize that the success of individuals depends on the success of the community as a whole. It goes both ways. Not at all unlike here at Common Ground. Diversity makes a community resilient. And human communities can imitate nature's resilience through that diversity. When we examine the depths of all of the wisdom traditions that are out there, we're going to find that honoring and learning from the principles of nature have always been there throughout history. That's been one of the core ideas. And so to relate to nature and to all its creatures is to greatly enlarge our own sense of self and who we are and what we're here and called to do. Our sense of connection to all and to everything. So I was thinking about this morning. As you were growing up, did anyone ever tell you that you were part of a universal tribe called humanity? Did you ever hear that? I know I didn't. Did you ever hear that your attitudes and thoughts and your actions impacted the world, not just you personally? No one told me growing up that by being a kind and a compassionate person that I could make a difference in the community and ultimately on this planet. Eventually we figure those things out. I just didn't hear that or realize it or understand it maybe at a young age. As we go through some intense personal work, what I realized through that, one of the things I realized through that, was that every single person on this planet has the capacity to change the world. Every single person does. So we each and all come together to share our unique qualities, our unique skills. And what I say is this: there's no better time than now to join forces and to expand our lights out there in the world, sharing with others who it is we are. And here's the trick though. Once you open up and recognize that, once you understand the idea of interconnectedness and oneness, there's no turning back. You can't change your mind. All you can do is open up more and become even more aware. We are each and all called to be peace in this world. We are each and all called to be compassion in this world. And we are each and all called to be joy and to share those qualities, to give them away with all of humanity. That being our personal effort to make this world a better place. Now we always, every day, every moment of every day, have the opportunity to create practical acts where we can demonstrate our unity, our diversity, our harmony, and our compassion. And if you're ready to move deeper into that oneness, then commit to celebrating and sharing the idea of unity. It all begins with you. All of it. And then you can watch how it moves out into the world, one person at a time. And while doing that together, we can certainly create transformation in ourselves and in the world. What I want you to walk away with this morning is this: that we're all one, that we're in this together, and that we can make this world a more loving, compassionate place to live. And I close with these thoughts in the words of the great Vulcan Spock. Live long and prosper. Thank you for being here.